and I'll record it. I don't know if White's gonna come back. He said that he might watch the end at some other time. So yeah, this is it about deadline. So always ask it, and always ask them if they can do it sooner. Unless you feel that it's fine if they do it like in 2 weeks, then you don't have to ask it, of course. But if it's something you want to get done, then always ask them, can we do it sooner, or how can we do it sooner? So how is even maybe a bit better, because that way it's not, you know, as then it's more open-ended, and it makes them even think more. Is there anything else about productivity?
I think I just have a question,
Yeah.
more of a point. If there is a person who does something really well, but he doesn't want to do it, he or she doesn't want to do it as much as he or she would like to do something else that he's not so productive at the point, like maybe now, how to choose, like how to balance?
Usually it then makes sense to motivate him or her to put most of his time into stuff that he's good at, but make sure that he has like you know, limited time every week to work on the thing he wants to improve at. And then basically this goes into career coaching as well a bit, to tell him that, and it's fine if you sometimes need to do it, but then tell him that, yeah, like just learn a bit and see how it goes, and maybe at some point you will get good enough that we can let you do it like nearly half time or even full time. So it should go gradually. At the beginning, like for example, Marta currently is learning how to do inbound sales. So she's actually
Update. I suck at it.
So Marta was very confident that she will be super good at it, and then what we agreed.
That's not exactly true, but okay.
And we agreed that instead of her like completely going over to sales, she will start doing 10 calls a week. She will see how it goes. She can improve. She can get feedback, and if she likes it, and if she gets better, then she can start doing more and more. Eventually, maybe she will be full time in inbound sales. But that's up to her to decide how it goes. But you don't want the person to completely drop the previous thing and start the new one. You want to do it gradually for multiple reasons. First of all, like Marta said, she sucks at it. So, so if you let the person completely drop the thing that he's good at and only do the thing that he, you know, sucks at, then suddenly he or she can get very demotivated, because she actually doesn't have, you know, she doesn't have the feeling of success anymore that much. And second of all, the thing that she was good at will suddenly start sucking because nobody's working on it anymore. So yeah, it should be like most of the changes in the world should happen like throughout time instead of all at once. Any other questions, or do you think is there any other way to make person feel productive and efficient? One other way to do it is actually what I discussed with Birgit today, is make people feel they can achieve anything. So a lot of the time, people are simply not confident enough to do it. They might be afraid to do it. And somebody mute himself, whoever's writing.
Yeah, Marta, we can hear you.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So they can feel that people might feel like uncomfortable doing a new thing, or they might feel like they're not gonna be very good at it, or they might feel that this is like a too hard task. But it's important to make people feel that they can achieve anything. For example, in CS right now, we'd like people to call clients proactively and activate them. There's a big problem with some people who feel that this is something they've never done it before, and this is something that they're not trained for. So it's important to make these people feel that it's not actually that complex, and feel that they can achieve doing it. And it's basically painting them a vision and praising them when they are doing good. A lot of time it's all about confidence, especially in sales, for example. In sales, like there's in Southwestern, there's a saying that sales is 70% emotion, 30% of your words. So confidence is actually a huge part about sales. Confidence is also very important about, in development, in customer support, in marketing, whatever, leadership even. Because if you're not confident in what you're doing, then other people feel that, and at the same time, when they start feeling that, then it also destroys your credibility a bit. And in case of development, if you're not confident, then it's like can be a mental barrier for you of start working on it, because it seems like such a hard problem, and some people just sit idly behind table without doing anything and just reading the code or articles or whatever to try to come upon the perfect solution, instead of just starting to work on it, because they're afraid they're not confident they can handle it. So that's also one important part. Do you have any questions about keeping your people happy or productive or efficient or motivated? No. Then the last topic I want to talk about is meetings. So regarding meetings, I think we all hate meetings, right? Or is there anybody? Raise your hands who loves meetings.
Well, I don't hate them.
Okay, so one person loves them. Huh?
I'm not. No, I didn't say that either. But I don't hate them. They're normally like useful. Actually useful.
It depends on the meeting.
Yeah. So can anybody tell me what meetings are good? You said it depends on the meeting. So what sort of meeting is something that you feel that it was a good way to spend my time?
There needs to be some clear result of the meeting, some goals set up, and not just going from topic to topic. So it has to be structured.
Structured and focused, probably.
Yeah.
So absolutely agree. This is something that before you even call a meeting, always make sure that you have a goal set up. Always. You okay?
Yes.
Carmen started crying here, but
Happiness.
Okay. She loves the meeting.
It's okay. You can do it.
It will be over
You
soon.
can do everything. Yeah, so always make sure you have the goals set up. Because if you have a clear goal of the meeting, like I think it was the best way I read it was every time you start the meetings, then start with a goal in mind. So before you even call a meeting, then always think, what do you want to achieve with this meeting? And if you have that goal set in your mind, then it's a lot easier to make sure it's structured, focused, and whenever people start going all over the place and talking about things that are not tied to the goal, then you can say that, all right, cool, but let's get back to the topic. So you won't like let them get out of hand. And with some people, you have to say it like 5 to 10 times in meetings. With some people, you never have to say it, but don't ever be afraid to say it if you have to say it. So because some people start rambling about things, and it might not be, if you feel that every meeting there's a problem of not talking about the goal, but completely other things, then start with the meeting notes public, like I guess this one, leadership training, and just write the goal to the doc. So whenever people steer off topic, just say, all right, but let's talk about the goal, and show the goal to the people. So basically, that's one thing. Now, the topic of how to hold the meeting is a very long one, but this is the most fundamental basic, and I won't go like too much into how to hold a good meeting. If you guys feel that you need more trainings about that, I can do it in the future to you. But this is the main thing, have a goal for every meeting. And and probably like meetings that are like super useful are weekly meetings, right? Where you talk with your team, when you set your clear goals for the week, where you talk about what you want to achieve and stuff like that. These are useful meetings. Now, are there any meetings that are not useful? Can anybody tell me?
I don't like when the meetings go around the same topics as last week and nothing new comes up. So basically, they're like doing the same stuff, same meeting over and over.
Mm-hmm. So this goes into weekly meetings, basically, right? How could you make sure this doesn't happen?
Well, if there's a continuous problem or topic, basically, then I would set the clear goals on how to deal with it one week and then try something else another week if it doesn't work. But it's useless just talking about it again and again,
Yeah,
something like that. Right.
Completely agree. And set deadlines for whatever you come up. Like the deadline is fine. It's fine if the deadline is only like 3 days or even 1 day or 1 hour. I often, we discuss legal shit with Marianne, and often we agree that we'll get it done in an hour. So yeah, are there any other meetings you guys don't like?
Yes. It's awful when you end up somewhere you actually don't belong to. At the beginning, I kind of ended up to the backend meetup, I think. Because I think that there are like 2 problems. First of all, people invite, I'm not talking about those like team meetings, maybe those also. People invite people to meetings like kind of randomly, and they don't write the topic clearly enough. So it makes you feel that you actually should go there, and you go there and you're like, why?
Yeah.
And if you're not smart enough, or if you're like looking for something and you're still sitting there half an hour later, then it's kind of awful.
Yeah. So if this happens and you see you're a meeting that you shouldn't be at, just walk out. Like, don't be afraid. It's completely normal. It's a waste of your time. This goes into always sending agenda before the meeting, but I don't want to get too much deep into that. Is there any other meetings that, like, I guess this goes hand to hand with the same thing that cross-team meetings. It's similar. You were like in going to backend meetup, even though it's not your thing at all. So basically, cross-team meetings are useless unless you are working with that team. So what this means that basically all the meetings that are meant to simply synchronize like 2 or 3 or more teams, but those teams are actually not doing anything closely together, they're a complete waste of time. So those meetings we should avoid as much as possible. Like there's no reason for Latvian team to go for the Estonian team meeting. Like it doesn't give them anything. There's no reason for the SWAT team to go to the onboarding teams meeting.
We just had a meeting with Uku and Julius.
It's different if you guys have something you want to discuss in common, but if you like, simply let's make sure we all know that we know what we are doing, which is the natural reaction for a lot of people, especially who come from startup environment. It's like, you don't need to know what everybody's doing. I don't know what you guys are all doing. Because it's even though I do one-on-ones with everyone, I still don't know what everybody's doing, and I don't really care because it's not something that affects my work so much. And like cross-team meetings are a lot of time, a waste of time. So and right now that we also started in the Standtown writing what every team does, then it's even more useless, right? Because a lot of times the teams can just see what everybody's doing in there. All right, but we are nearing the end of our training. We have gone through, I think, the most basics and fundamentals of leadership, like what should the team leader do. What are your thoughts? Any questions? So, Andra, what's the biggest thing you're walking away with from this meeting or training?
I like the list that you made. It's like I will, but yeah, let me think. Yeah, I will have to work on the deadlines and stuff like that in my team, I suppose. I seem to be forgetting it. I had a meeting today where I was alone, so that's also probably not good. But yeah, things about the meetings are important, even though it's just like 2 or 3 of us.
Uku, what's the biggest thing you're walking away from this training with?
There are a lot of things, but one thing that got me thinking the most was take your people to field trip so that they could see the fruits of their work.
Awesome. Marta?
I wonder why I didn't have this meeting last year in November. Now it all makes sense. Yeah.
So what's your biggest?
But no, actually meeting part, because that has always been my biggest struggle. I hate meetings, and I hate even more to make them myself. So looking forward to continue talking about meetings.
Okay, so you would appreciate another training too.
Yes.
Cool. Carmen?
I actually really appreciate the quote.
This one?
There's a lot.
That's awesome to hear. Vaido, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah. Well, I walked away with 2 bags of groceries from downstairs.
All right.
No, actually, the list is very good. Like, yeah, just have the overview where to come back to.
Cool. And I'll leave the list to this, basically this recruitment and onboarding space. You can always search for it in Atlassian if you ever need to remind yourself. In the Confluence, it's called Leadership Training, the Basics. So whenever you feel you need to remind yourself something, you can always just search for it and you'll find it. And let's see, in few weeks, maybe 2 weeks or something, I'll ask if you guys are interested in getting more trainings. Let's have some time for you guys to experiment with these things, and then we can see how did it go, and maybe we'll make another training. The topic is up to you. Maybe it's about meetings, maybe it's more specifically about, I don't know, setting OKRs, or maybe it's about helping to choose the tasks or whatever it is. I plan on start making more and more of these trainings, so you guys will, hopefully it helps you work in a way that you can lead your team, but at the same time you can put like 80% of your time doing your own stuff and doing your own work. Because one thing that I really feel, I don't know if you guys have felt the same way, is that people management can be stressful and take a lot of time. But at the same time, you have your own tasks as well. So you really want to actually make sure that the people management will take like, 20% of your time maximum, so you can focus also on creating value. It depends on how many people you have, of course. Maybe if you have a lot of people, then it takes more time. This list, like if we throw all these HR things away, like career mentorship, role mentorship, and stuff like that, then this list should help you lead your team in a way that you can actually spend most of your time also working on things hands-on instead of worrying about your people so much. Does it make sense?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, in this case, thank you for your time, and see you guys whenever I see you, probably within this week. Some of you tomorrow, some of you on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever.
Bye.
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 Ciao, ciao.
Oh.